Should I Go to Law School? Part 2. In the first segment of this two-parter, we talked about some of the misguided reasons that someone might think law school is their best or only option. I want to dig a bit deeper and be a bit more serious with this part 2. No matter where you are in your career and education, whether you're a current college student, a few years out in a job that you hate, or a seasoned professional thinking about a major career change to pursue a lifelong dream, here are some questions you might want to ask yourself before you go all in. First, what is my fundamental motivation for considering law school? This does not need to be some beautiful, noble reason like pursuing social justice or movie plot answer like avenging the wrong that an evil corporation brought upon my quaint small town. Your answer might be simply money or prestige, which is fine, and that's more common than anyone wants to admit. But think about it, and whatever your answer is, consider whether law school is the most effective way to achieve that goal. Second, am I able to make the commitment and sacrifices that law school involves? Remember, even beyond the major financial commitment of law school tuition, this is at least 3 years of your life during which you won't be making any money, really. Do you have enough in savings? If you're married, is your spouse cool with pulling the extra weight and helping you to finance your dream? Your personal relationships are going to change, your hobbies and interests and ability to travel are going to be impacted, and your life isn't going to look the same when you graduate as it did on day one. Are you okay with that? Third, what do I want my legal career to look like after I graduate? It is imperative that you have a realistic sense of what job opportunities will most likely be available to you when you graduate, depending on your law school's ranking and reputation, plus your own class rank. The conventional wisdom on the internet is harsh. They'll tell you that if you don't get into a T14 school, don't bother going at all, because unless you graduate first in your class at a third-tier toilet, and even then it's dubious, you'll never get a job in big law. Now, this perspective assumes that big law is everyone's sole objective and that no lawyers outside of big law ever make any money ever. But you might want to go into public interest or join a boutique family law practice or start your own personal injury law firm or work for the prosecutor's office or whatever. And let me be clear, some of the wealthiest and most successful lawyers I know have no big law experience and they went to a lower ranked school, but their business sense, hard work, natural intelligence, charisma, networking, and many other factors prove to be far more important in the long run. So do your research. Look at the statistics of starting salaries at your target law schools and also income and hourly rate statistics for lawyers in the local markets in which you might want to practice. And ask yourself, do I need to work in big law to be satisfied? And are most of my classmates likely to get jobs in big law based on historical recruiting at my law school? And if the answers to those questions are yes, you are dead set on big law, and no, your target schools aren't big law feeders, then ask yourself, is law school really worth it? Finally, what feedback have I gotten from practicing lawyers? Now, part of me wants to tell you to take their input with a grain of salt. Lawyers are notoriously pessimistic, and if you ask them to talk about their work, a lot of them will tell you that being a lawyer sucks, they're miserable, you should never go to law school, and all other lawyers are assholes. Now, I often think a lot of these folks would have been sad sacks and complainers no matter what career they'd chosen. On the other hand, there really are a lot of unhappy lawyers, many of whom go out of their way to ensure everyone else around them is unhappy too. But if you look out and speak with someone who isn't just Debbie Downer, and you're both willing to dig deep, you might get some great insights into their specific complaints and frustrations, as well as the big and little joys of the work. And then you can determine whether, for your particular disposition and preferences, the negatives of being a lawyer would be tolerable or outweighed by the benefits. Hopefully that's enough to get you started for today, although this is another topic that could span a dozen video posts easily. Don't be discouraged or even necessarily dissuaded just because these answers cause you to take a beat. Being a lawyer doesn't have to have been your lifelong dream for law school to be the right choice for you, but you should at least have articulable answers to these questions to start. fellow lawyers. How would you respond if someone you care about asked whether you think they should go to law school?